Remove those distractions in the name of Jesus. Let his ears be open up to hear your voice. And his eyes to see the glory that you put in the name of Jesus. In my soul, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, have your way in his life, God. Have your way in his life. This is a vessel that you have created for your purpose, God. Oh, Father God, distractions, remove them, God. Remove them in the name of Jesus. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Now you can pray with Brother Robert, and we're going to move on.
Without even him having to see it. Father, remove that burden. Remove that stress. Father, God, deliver him, God. From the bondage that he is. Oh, God, open up his mind. Open up his ears. You, God. Father, just give him a new path to walk on, God. Light up the path that he needs to go, God. Oh, God, that he may go straight, God. God, straight the way that you want him to go. Thank you. Oh, God, everything that he touches will be blessed. Everything that he thinks about, God, will be thinking about God. The word that proceeds out of his mouth, God, because he put them there, God, in the name of Jesus, God. Father God, touch his family right now. Touch his family, God. We speak healing, God, right now in the name of Jesus. Wherever that person may be at right now, God, we speak healing, God. We're standing in the gap right now, God, for him, God. Father, give him the strength, God, that he may go forth, God, and continue to be strong, God. Where he may be weak, God, we will lean on you, God, because you are strong, God. When we are weak, God, Father God, let him submit to your will, God. Let him submit to your way, God. Father, let him lean on you, God. Let him study his word, God, and know what you're trying to tell him.
The Holy Spirit just told me to tell you real quick that he's going to change your happiness into joy. He's getting ready to do it. And we're going to celebrate you in a few seconds. Because with happiness, many of us know that happiness eventually runs out. We happy one moment, but we sad the next moment. We happy one moment, then we sad the next moment. But when you're joyful, God is getting ready to put a joy in your life that wherever you think, it's gonna supersede whatever crazy thought may come to your mind. How you may be feeling, even with the things you deal with, the disease of lupus, and all those things. God says that I'm getting ready to put such a joy on you that those things that hold you down, that weight you down, how you feel, all of those things are going to be turned into joy. He says that weeping may endure for a night, but what cometh in the morning? Joy cometh in the morning. And if y'all believe God for Veronica, let's give her a worship, a praise. Let's praise God with her, that God is getting ready to give her joy in her life. That she won't have to worry about happiness running out. It's okay to cry, but joy cometh in the morning. Look at somebody and say, joy cometh in the morning. And I'm here to tell the intercessors. Go ahead, get it. Come on, don't let them praise him by himself. Y'all can come praise him. If you can't get up, let's clap with him. I'm telling you, I know what the Lord said to me. I'm telling you, I intercessors here?
Oh, yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
The enemy has learned your rehearsed tactics.
Oh, glory.
He has learned your rehearsed tactics. Because you do the same thing religiously, so he's learned the tactics. He said, try a new way.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you.
He says that the intercessor is supposed to already be able to break this atmosphere.
That's right.
It's supposed to not be able to be like this. The atmosphere is supposed to already have been pierced. But the enemy has learned the tactics. That's why he can come and weigh the service down.
Yes.
He says, even in your personal lives, I've learned your tactics. I learned what time you go to work. I've learned what you're doing. I learned how you pray. I learned where you pray at. I've learned your tactics so it won't work. Because he can expect that you're going to do it the same way every single time. So you got to try a different approach.
Yes. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
And the Holy Spirit told me, he says, the penalty of unhealthy worship is mercy. He says that the penalty is mercy. And my mercy ain't going to be the mercy that you think it's going to be. Many of us are playing, thanking God for the grace. Yes, thank God for the grace. But you saved ones, been here 25 years, been saved 3 and 4, 5 years, you're going to see mercy.
Come on.
You're going to see mercy. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something that you think I'm going to pat you on your head about.
That's right.
It's mercy. We're under the mercy.
That's right.
We're under mercy. Intercessors, please change the tactic.
Yes.
Please, and I'm hearing it so clearly. He wants me to say more, I just don't even know how to say it. I see in the spiritual aspect that the fire, the match is being struck, but it ain't light.
Oh my God. Oh.
I see the match being struck. I see the sparks, but it ain't lighting. Because you didn't try it the same way for so long, and now it did burn the match out. And so what you're trying to do now, you're brushing the stick against the part that's supposed to spark the fire. He says that I want to give it to you, I want to give it back to you, and I'm going to give it back to you. But you got to try a different way.
Yes.
Don't keep trying the same way you've been lighting it the same way. Try a different way. Because God says, God, thank you for this revelation.
Yes.
Everything works in reverse a lot of time in God, within the spirit aspect. The way you're stroking up, you may be stroking it up. You may be trying to light it by pulling it this way. But maybe he wants you to go the opposite way. Because better is the ending of a thing. So that means everything works in reverse. If the person slaps you, don't slap them back. So what it does, it works in reverse. So whatever you got to do, reverse what you got to do. And then go find another way. Reverse some of the stuff you've done and find another way. And watch what God getting ready to do in your life. Because it's not going to happen first here at the church. It's going to happen in your life first. You can't come to church and just think that it's going to happen here if it ain't happening in your own house yet. You can't come shift the atmosphere here if you ain't shifted it at your own house. You can't expect to bless people by your prayers or your worship if you ain't been, God ain't being blessed by your prayers and your worship at home. Find a new tactic to strike a match. Because we're supposed to be the salt of the earth. And we're going to be the oil that's going to be on top of the fire. We're supposed to make it spread like wildfire when you light it every time.
Yes. Thank you.
And this is what the Holy Spirit is saying. And I'm going to stop here because I'm not going to prolong time. But I'm telling you, intercessors, We got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. The fasting is good. The praying is good. Everything is great. Everything is great. But try a different tactic. Let's try a different tactic. Let's give God a hand clap. Good morning, Christian fellowship. And I know I ain't been running. I haven't done anything because I know I might be out of shape, but that I know I'm feeling right now. But we're gonna give it up. Let Pastor come and let her finish by tilling the ground. And I hope that everybody in here, if the word touches your heart, if heaven touches earth, you are part of earth. I need you on this morning to give God worship and give Him praise every time this word that touches your heart, that ministers to your heart. It's a matter of fact that God is telling me to tell all of you, praise Him for your family. Praise Him for your unsaved family. Even praise Him for the ones that are saved. Pray that God will restore their minds, because I'm telling you, the people are losing their mind every single day. And God telling me to tell y'all, pray for your families. Pray for your families. But if everybody will stand to your feet, everybody stand to your feet so we can introduce this great woman of God who is not just no mediocre preacher, but she is a one that walks heavy in the anointing. This is somebody I know that destroys yokes. I know that the anointing rests on her life. I know her to be a woman of God, been authentic, and she's a real woman of God inside of church, outside of church. She's always the same way. She's a mother of a great son by the name of Donovan McLeod. Hey, Norman and quite a few others. But I want to present to everybody, my great mother, Pastor Dr. B. McLeod. Love you, the whole fivefold ministry this morning. She the whole fivefold ministry: apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. Let's give it up for our great pastor on today.
I just sat there and listened and watched God go forth this morning in the prophetic, and I thank God for those of you that obeyed in your making your pilgrimage to the altar, and looking to God, who is the author and finisher of our faith. Because if He doesn't do it, it can't be done. And so we just really thank God for you all coming, because so many people have gotten so comfortable and familiar, they think, with God, and when altar calls are made, they think, well, they're talking to me, I don't have to go. It's just, and I'm saying this is because I want to reveal the enemy of rebellion, and it's a form of rebellion when the altar call is made and is open. We sometimes, like the prophet said on this week, we are so busy looking at the vessel till we can't see or we can't hear the voice that's behind the vessel. And so when you come in obedience, it's not so much that you got to yell and you got to scream, because God is so close to you. He hears you before you come. But just by your obedience, God says, I bless you because of your obedience. And I want you to know this morning that those of you that came, you might not see it, might didn't